I honestly believe that I'm a prophet, not from God, just a prophet. The way they explain in Numbers chapter 12 in the Bible, where you dream, you get visions, and you hear voices. I hear voices in my dreams. Sometimes I hear voices when I get visions, and when I'm not getting visions or dreaming, I hear voices, and sometimes I hallucinate. But like, what does it mean to be a prophet? Am I gonna help humanity and like everything's gonna be better? I don't think so, dude. I don't think anybody can help humanity. For the most part, I think they're all robots. Like I got like woken up in a robot world. Supposedly, I took information from survivors, so there are real things out there. I hear there's parasites too, and they have feelings too, like parasites. And like, yeah, I'm a prophet. And the thing about that is that sometimes it seems like you can see the future. Like there was like a carousel that I was seeing, and I rode a carousel back in the day, and with horses, like a roundabout, like just like a carousel, the horse go like that, and to me it was just a dream. I mean, hallucinations where I was seeing a carousel. And the thing about that is that like 6 years later, I had to take a train from Ogden all the way to Provo, and there was a carousel, in like an old circus thingy, and it was like, what are the odds of that? Not going to a circus and seeing a carousel, you know what I'm saying, all the way to Ogden and shit like that, and what was my trip? My trip was that I was homicidal, so I sold drugs to the cops, so I go to jail. Cause I needed treatment like lockup, and the state hospitals are like shutting down. They're not shutting down, but they're denying services to a lot of people because of coronavirus. They don't want to get sick. They're all afraid of dying. I'm not afraid of dying. I believe I've died before and resurrected, and like in the same body. Like I'll die, rot, and who knows how much time will pass by. But according to my voices, freaking I never married. I never got together with another woman. I've slept with 5 women. The thing about that is that I never really stayed with them for longer than like a month. Then I'll go back to one a month later for like a few days, then I'll come back to them, and it would go like that for 3 years. But I never married. And the thing is, why is that important? According to them, when I died in Arizona for not sticking around with a woman, computing power got enhanced to maximum mode. They say if you go out with a woman, stay with a woman, your computing power is less. Whatever that means. But according to them, computing was max. And one thing that helped me out a lot was buying a DS with Advanced Wars and Medios, whatever you want to call it, Medios, those 2 games, and giving up that DS with those 2 games to a friend of mine in Payson. And for a pipe, I threw away the pipe because I thought it was the devil when I was smoking weed on it. Like, oh shit, I was too high on that shit. I did not want to smoke weed anymore. But according to them, with that DS, I infiltrated computer structures with my germs that were communicating with that person and that DS forever. For like ever and ever. And like I would compute with that DS like forever, dude. Like it would help me out a lot in wars. And according to them, I've won a war or two. And like I escaped. I escaped from people that wanted to kill me or hurt me. And not only that, they say that the Spanish are my enemies. And that, I'm Mexican by the way, that the Spanish are my enemies. And that I killed so many Spanish that they wanted to get me for killing so many Spanish people. And that I would let Germanic people live and I would let them hide away from me. And I know it seems like a fantasy, but see, you have to understand. I went to Dixon Middle School for 6 months, but thought that I only went there for 2 weeks or a week and a half, when everybody claimed that I was there for like 6 months. See, in between, I compute in nothingness, where I function with sensors and virtual reality. So this, I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're saying that this world is virtual reality and that it's really freaking real. And the way virtual reality works, basically, is with electrical signals, electricity, shit like that. So the sun is not real, the moon is not real, the stars are not real, the world is not real, the planets are not real. It's virtual reality. But it's so freaking real that you can compute and think that it's real and move around thinking you're moving around, but in reality you're not really moving. You're actually in a stationary position, holding still, or I am anyways, holding still, because anything that moves is investigated. And that's the way I work. So in reality, I'm not moving. It's virtual reality in its highest computing forms with biological beings like me. I'm a real entity, And according to the Bible, chapter 12 in the book of Numbers, when Miriam and some other dudes spoke to Moses, murmured against him, and Aaron murmured against Moses, the Lord said, I speak to prophets in dreams, I speak to them in visions, but with Moses I speak to face. See, I don't speak to God. That's the thing. To me, there is no God. But I am a prophet. Because I hear voices and something speaks to me. Whether it be a robot or something biological, nevertheless, it's still something that speaks to me. Because the voices just can't come out of nowhere. Either it's the brain with the talking to the ears, or the ears talking to the brain, and stuff like that. And the eyes communicating with the brain that it sees shit. Like sensors and shit like that. And the dreams, they're alright, especially when I hear songs. I'll just post them on the internet. The thing about that is that there is no God. Anything that claims to be God, and if it moves, can be destroyed. If it doesn't move and is stationary, can still be destroyed if found out or discovered. Meaning that Jesus was a real prophet. Because, in a way, he was a real prophet, Jesus. He claims that resurrection is real. And according to accounts, I would stop eating. People would claim that I would stop drinking water. But for the most part, they wouldn't see me. Then I would come back all skinny, meaning I would resurrect. So resurrection is real. But you usually come back in the same environment that was recorded by a computer, meaning the same world, the same towns, the same everything. And according to them, Spanish Fork does not exist. It was a made-up town by my computer to protect me. That town does not exist. But Provo and Salt Lake do. Just weird shit like that. Like my computer can like make up shit. You know? And like a brain computer or something computer. And it's not like really like a computer like a desktop or nothing like that. It's like a biological computer or something like that. And according to them, I escaped. So the Spanish can't really do nothing to me after I killed and butchered a shitload of them. Leaving blonde people alone, and people like, for some reason, just the Spanish are the ones that my computer knows are my enemies. And those are the ones that killed. Not only that, shit, I lost my train of thought. Not only that, but like, I have satellites that are so powerful that help me out and that I'm never going to be discovered. Or the way they put it, they're not gonna catch me because I escaped by choking myself over and over and over again in a paradise city of Tucson, Arizona, and Phoenix, mostly Tucson, where I passed away if I choking myself with sheets like that, where I would feel electricity and shit like that. And that I passed away and that I escaped. And the people from Utah did not pursue when I stole my girlfriend's car back in 2000 something, like 2007. They would not pursue. Yeah, I'm a prophet, but it ain't God. Resurrection is real. Jesus was a real prophet. Resurrection is real. Now, eternity, I don't know anything about that. But the way I think of it, things rot and have to be reborn. I believe in rebirth and regeneration.